Well, holy fuck, here we are again.
Yep, here we are. This is Leftist Lens. I'm James. That's Matt. I'm Matt. That's James. We're going to talk about what has happened at least a little bit of what's happened in the last week.
It's never, we used to, under the Biden administration, we would struggle sometimes to think about, God, is there really going to be anything to talk about? And sometimes it was a stretch.
Yeah.
This shit it's mind-blowing how fucking terrible things escalate to every fucking week. And here we are to talk about it.
All right. So we're going to start with Ukraine because this is most recently in the news. Trump wants to negotiate a peace plan for Ukraine, but he wants to negotiate with Putin, and he doesn't want to invite Ukraine to the table.
Fucking insane.
That is crazy.
And this is going to lead into where this conversation is going in terms of why Europe feels the way that they do about us now, because we are no longer allies of the European nations. We are a hair's breadth. I don't even know what that means. A hair's breadth. A hair's width.
Well, hairs are really thin.
I always thought it was hairs like the rabbit. H-A-R-E.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck. Anyway, we are a heartbeat away from being allies of fucking Russia.
Uh-huh.
And that would put us as enemies of the European nations and NATO. It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. So Trump's argument is that since Russian soldiers died taking parts of Ukraine, they should get to keep it. I don't know what kind of logic that is.
It's not logic. It's fucking...
Well, you know what? Some Native Americans died defending this land from European invaders. Should they get to keep it? Should they get to keep it?
Yeah, there were far more Native Americans that died than European invaders that died.
Right. They should get to keep it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, along with this, Vice President J.D. Vance was in Europe, speaking to the European Union, our allies, our closest allies for the last, 100 years. And he told them with a straight face that the problem is not with China or Russia. It's with them. It's with them. The European nations that are our allies. That's crazy. They were shocked. There were a lot of statements from heads of state of European nations that were shocked. But part of the big problem is he doesn't like their stance on Russia, of course. Because Great Britain said they're ready to put troops into Ukraine to fight Russia directly. And, Trump and Vance don't like that because that would be bad for their buddy Putin. He also doesn't like Europe's immigration policies. He doesn't think they should have immigrants. And he didn't like that Romania canceled an election that was won by a far-right individual when they said there was extreme influence from Russia, which I'm sure there was. But what he doesn't mention is that the Romanian people protested that election in large numbers.
Yep.
They felt something was wrong with it too. So anyway, they didn't just install the next guy. They just called for another election. So that's coming up in May. So yeah, we have alienated our closest allies. Trump has been president for how long? Not even a month. Yep. And we've abandoned all of our closest allies, including our two closest neighbors, Canada and Mexico.
Every European nation that provides real estate for a United States base right now should be thinking very critically about continuing to allow those bases to exist. You cannot have a base in your country for a country that is not supporting your mission, your security, that is antithetical to your existence. The U.S. bases in these European countries should not be allowed to continue to be there. There has to be somebody in some of these European countries considering that. It only makes sense.
I'm sure that will come up on the emergency meeting that the heads of state of Europe are having. They didn't invite us
because it's about us.
Yeah, they're primarily discussing Ukraine and Russia, but they're gonna talk about what to do about us. I think we mentioned this before, but it's also important to note that like Denmark moved military assets into Greenland because they are worried that we're going to invade Greenland.
I have a friend who is Canadian, and she is indicating that there are military assets being moved around in southern Canada.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Why do you think that is?
I've heard that too. So our closest allies aren't just abandoned by us, they're feeling threatened by us, and they're prepared to defend themselves from us. That is insane.
It's going to be
1 month ago they were our best friends, and now they think they're going to have to fight a war against us.
It's fucking insane. Trump this morning, or I saw a clip this morning, it seemed very recent, where a reporter asked him about some European countries banning the import of any U.S. food products, and his was fine, let them go. Fine, let them go. This man is destroying not just this country, but the entire fucking world. And you cannot look at what's going on and come to any other fucking conclusion. We are now more isolated than we have ever been on the world stage. We are now aligning ourselves with the forces that have sought to usurp us militarily, economically, socially for decades now. This is the insanity behind what is going on right now is unfucking paralleled.
It is.
Just imagine what next week is going to look like.
Right. And like I said this last week, I think, but I realize that this hasn't affected your daily life that much yet, but it is going to. It is going to. And it's going to be bad. It is going to be bad.
It's fucking unreal. Jesus Christ.
All right. And if you want to know more about where Donald Trump's allegiance is and what his plan is, you already know they're trying to cut everything. If you saw the new Republican budget, it eliminates Medicare, deep cuts to Social Security, SNAP, WIC, all those things, deeply cut. But it gives $30 billion to SpaceX. Take the money away from the social programs that help the poor, give it to the richest man on earth. That is the goal of this administration. They're taking money away from you and giving it to Elon Musk.
There is a very slow trickle of an awakening going on with the people who put us in this place. And these are the people who are going to be the first ones impacted by these economic decisions that are being made domestically. And they're very slowly coming to the realization that they fucked themselves hard. But you know what? It's too fucking late. It's too fucking late. It's water under the bridge. If we're going to get an opportunity to try to do something about this, it's not going to be pretty. First of all, I don't think we're going to vote our way out of this. This is going to get very fucking ugly very quickly. And the value behind these people having their little epiphanies is very minimal. It's really yeah. There you go.
I'd like to remind everyone too that Donald Trump has said repeatedly that he believes he should be able to use the military to quell protests. So there you have it.
But we need to test. We need to test the waters on this. Let's get a few major fucking marches going in Washington.
Yes,
and we'll see what happens.
Yes. All right. The craziest thing I saw this week, I don't know. It's hard to determine what the craziest thing was.
Yeah.
But that image of Elon Musk giving a press conference in the Oval Office about the activities of his Doge agency.
Fucking weird.
Well, Donald Trump sat behind his desk, the Resolute desk in the Oval Office with his head down like he was a little subservient puppy. Elon Musk, of course, had his son on his shoulders because he wants you all to see him as just like you. He's a dad just like you. No, the fuck he's not. That's fake. But that was a crazy image. But even crazier was what little 4-year-old... What is his name? X? Is his name X? I don't know what the fuck is
Baby name. Hitler.
Yeah. The little 4-year-old kid at one point looked at Donald Trump, and this is on camera and you can hear it, and said, "You're not the real president. You need to go away.
You need to shut your mouth."
Well, that was separate. He said both of those things.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because then later he said, when Donald Trump started speaking, he said, "You need to shush your mouth." Now, he's a 4-year-old. He's not coming up with these ideas on his own. He has to have heard Elon say that to Donald. He has to have.
Yeah, I guarantee it. He's parroting what he's heard. Oh, fuck.
Nobody voted for Elon Musk. Nobody. I don't even know what else to say about that. He is the weakest president we have ever had.
God, it's fucking unreal. It's fucking, and then I mean, you only have to go back to the inauguration ceremony, and you saw, I think it was Sergey Brin, Jeff Bezos, Musk, and whoever, the billionaire cadre was shoulder to shoulder, and they're just grinning ear to ear because.
Yep.
And who looks at that, who's sitting in their fucking, and I'm going to use the derogatory reference, sitting in their fucking double wide in Kentucky and is watching that and just is fucking enamored with it. What is it you think you're enamored with? What do you think you're seeing up there? So that ceremony's over and you turn off your black and white TV, and are you waiting for something to be bestowed upon you? In what way is your station in life elevated by what you just witnessed? How is your life better? It even strains the imagination to think that the original mantra that got these people, the demagoguery that got these people to where they are in their mindset was, oh, these guys are talking about the hatred of the same people that scare me. So that's why I'm one of them. But now here we are less than a month later. And how is your station in life elevated? Your benefits are being, your job. If you worked as a fucking custodian at one of these national parks, or in some capacity where your job is now ended because of this administration, where's the benefit to you? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. So speaking of firing people, just yesterday, Trump fired a couple hundred FAA employees. So I'm not sure how that's going to make flying safer in America.
It was less safe over the past 2 weeks. Now this is not an improvement.
No. All right. Another thing that's alarming. A lot of Trump's general executive orders from his first day in office have been blocked by federal judges. And these are some of the responses that the administration has had to this. All right. JD Vance just came straight out and said the administration is not going to obey judicial orders. They don't care. Elon Musk tweeted that it's not democracy if a judge can just stop you from doing whatever you want.
Fuck separation of powers.
What the fuck? And then the worst of all, Trump invoked Napoleon on Truth Social and said, "He who saves his country violates no law." What the fuck?
I mean, he gave every indication in the years prior that his regard for the Constitution was nil.
I mean,
And
he said we should cancel the Constitution at one point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he came out with one of his first executive orders was antithetical to, what was it, the 14th Amendment.
Right.
And it's been stopped in the federal courts, but I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but the symbolism behind his inauguration and his swearing in, where he did not put his hand on the Bible, the symbolism of that, when lined up with everything that's going on and everything that's been said, pretty fucking clear.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, how long did the Republicans tell us they are the party of law and order, and now they've completely abandoned the law? Completely.
Horse shit.
Completely. And if you want some more evidence, we told you a couple months ago about New York City Mayor Eric Adams. He got indicted on corruption charges, federal corruption charges. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, those charges have been dropped. Why? Eric Adams' own attorneys went to the DOJ and said, if Donald Trump wants Mayor Eric Adams' help with enforcing his immigration policies, then you have to drop these charges. And the DOJ did. Hold on. Not the DOJ that existed prior to Trump, but the DOJ that Trump is Trump's
building.
DOJ.
Yeah.
Did that. In response to that, several of the prosecutors in New York City resigned.
Yep. Like 14 of them, wasn't it?
Yeah. And because they said this isn't right. And it's not right. It's illegal. But the law doesn't matter anymore. You know what? We need to start acting like the law doesn't matter anymore.
I agree with you.
Law doesn't matter for them. It shouldn't matter for us.
I agree with you. And we need to be very careful about how we do that, because we're not going to serve any greater purpose as we're sitting in jail. So we need to usurp the system and degrade the system and break the system from within, but be very strategic about how you do it, because once you wind up behind bars, you're of much less use.
True, but I did see somebody make the argument that Obama should probably go to jail for us. He should be like Nelson Mandela, do something, end up in jail, and then that would unite more people.
Oh, sure it would.
Argument.
Sure it would.
Like, maybe we could all rally around Luigi, can't we?
We have been. We will continue to. We're not abandoning Luigi. He's still the icon for the significant part of this movement, and will continue to be so.
Yeah.
So when is this Paris meeting, this emergency meeting of the EU happening?
Oh, I think it's this week. I don't know. By the way, we're recording this on Monday, February 17th. Don't know when you're listening to it. But President's Day.
Yeah, right. It's President's Day. Oh, and somebody submitted a bill to make Trump's birthday a national holiday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you it won't be a paid day off, and through some mechanism they're going to take money away from you as homage to that fucking day. I guarantee it.
There's something else we didn't mention. The Associated Press has been banned from the White House press corps.
Yeah.
Because they won't say Gulf of America.
Yeah. What the fuck? Oh my God. And to watch that lipless blonde bimbo up there come unraveled when somebody in the press corps says Gulf of Mexico, she just can't handle herself.
Right? Because
you know that she's going back to her handlers and being scolded for not directing the conversation. I give her literally 60 more days before she's going to be out as in her capacity, and somebody else will be put in there, and it'll be somebody from some reject from Fox News that'll be the next press secretary.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Hold on, I'm gonna look at Google News to see if there's anything that came up while we were.
Yeah, what's happened so far this morning? This is a nationwide day of protests. They're protesting at all 50 state capitals again. There is actually a protest in my city for the first time today, but it's only 8 degrees, so I don't think I'm going to go. I'm sorry.
I have I have to wear this blood pressure cuff for my kidney donation, and it's cranking up right now. I bet you it's going to have some bad readings on it while we're recording this. Let's see. Elon Musk ridiculed a blind person on X, and then a mob went to work. Oh, great.
Cool.
SNL had their 50th anniversary. Yay.
I heard the concert was really good. They did that a couple days earlier. It was like a 4-hour concert.
Yeah, that's the one where Post Malone sang for Nirvana.
Yeah.
I saw mixed reviews about that. I'm not a Nirvana fan though.
Well, it wasn't just Post Malone. There was lots of stuff. It was 4 hours long.
Yeah, but the Nirvana part was Post Malone with Nirvana.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I know they had other performers, but yeah. Anyway, that's just my opinion about Nirvana. I've never been a fan.
Okay.
No, it's pretty much everything. Zelensky tells aides to reject U.S. pitch for 50% of Ukraine's rare earth minerals. Yeah, I saw him. He flat out rejected that. That was part of the deal that Trump wanted. That he wanted access to Ukraine's fucking mineral wealth.
Yeah, that's why he wants Canada and Greenland too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, other than that, it's everything.
But it's more that Elon wants those things. He needs those things for his batteries, for his swastikars.
Yep.
Speaking of which, that was a great video of the swastika truck that couldn't handle a little bit of snow.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was the idea that the U.S. military was even considering contracting to use these as Humvees, these Cybertrucks, is insane. Apparently, they backed down on that. There's still a purchase pending, $400 million, which isn't going to buy very many of any electric vehicle. But there's a question mark about where these vehicles are coming from. They goddamn well better not be coming from anything that Musk has his hands in. You can't. That is the textbook definition of conflict of interest. You can't fucking do this shit. So we'll see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
All right, let's take it down a notch.
Okay.
All right.
And talk about hockey fights.
We're going to talk about hockey. So the National Hockey League, in lieu of an all-star game, they decided to do something different. They're calling it the Four Nations Tournament. It was a round robin tournament with all NHL players, the United States, Canada, Sweden, and Finland. And it's still ongoing. The United States has clinched their spot in the championship game. They could play any of the other 3 teams at this point, depending on what happens in that championship game. But they played Canada in the round robin portion the other day in Ottawa, I think. And as soon as the whistle blew, gloves were dropped and there was a fight. And when that fight was over and they did the face-off again, another fight.
I fucking love it.
And then a third fight. There were 3 fights to start the game. But then the game went on and the United States won 3-1.
God damn it. I can't root for anything that is United States. I simply will not. When I go grocery shopping, I'm buying Canadian brands.
I don't know. I don't hate our athletes. I don't know if you saw the video at the Invictus Games. The Invictus Games is an athletic event that Prince Harry started for wounded veterans of Afghanistan and Iraq, basically. And they were holding that. And that was in Canada also. It was in British Columbia. And the governor of British Columbia, or whatever they call their, I don't know if that's what they're called, but whatever. He was given a speech about what has happened between Canada and the United States. And the American athletes gave him a standing ovation. So
yeah, they're not I'm not saying I'm not rooting for American athletes. It's the nationalism that I'm not participating in. I've never participated.
We're getting ready to host a World Cup jointly with Canada and Mexico. How is that going to go?
Yeah, isn't there some movement to try to have that moved from the United States?
They should just kick it out of the United States and just let Canada and Mexico host it themselves.
When is that scheduled? When is that happening?
Next summer, 2026.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's plenty of time to get that moved. That absolutely should be removed from the United States without question.
It
100%.
should.
100%.
So that'll be crazy.
It should be in Mexico. World Cup is soccer, right?
Yes.
Okay. What the fuck is that even doing in the United States? That doesn't belong here. That belongs in Mexico. I support it going to Mexico.
All right. I mean, soccer is popular here.
No, it isn't. What the fuck are you talking about?
It is way more popular than it was when you were young. I can tell you that.
I've never been young.
We hosted the World Cup in 1994. I played soccer as a youngin', and we hosted the World Cup in 1994. That was really exciting. We made it out of the first round for the first time since like 1930. 1930, we were runners up in the World Cup, by the way. We got that close in 1930. All of our players were English, though. But yeah, so that was exciting. And then our team has gotten better and better since then. And we are one of the best teams in the world, top 15 regularly. And our professional league, the MLS, which was born out of that 1994 World Cup, is popular. They sell out their games.
Yeah. But let's support getting the World Cup moved to Mexico.
I do support that. 100%. I also saw ticket prices were in the thousands of dollars. I attended a World Cup. The World Cup 2002 was in Korea, and I lived in Korea at the time, and I bought tickets to a game. And I'm pretty sure they were like $60. And now they're like 1,000 20 years later. That's crazy.
God. Well, everything is up, but that's fucking criminal. How about other entertainment wise? I watched The Gorge, which was
I did too.
It was terrible. I mean, it wasn't
terrible.
It could have.
I didn't like the ending. The ending was easy.
Well, I didn't like what turned out to be the core of the story. Like, what was the story behind this? If it had been something more along the lines of The Cabin in the Woods, which I thought it would have had some connection to that because Sigourney Weaver and some weird corporate overlord thing. If it had been something supernatural as opposed to what the story wound up being, it would have been so much better. Mm-hmm. And I want to comment for a second. Anya Taylor-Joy is she has some of the most unique symmetry of any human being I've ever seen. There's no other woman that looks like her. She is so unique. And I think she's a decent actress too. I'm really excited to see her in the next Dune movie. You've heard of Dune, right? Yeah, I know you haven't watched it.
I have. I did. I watched the first one.
You didn't like it, so I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't like it.
Leave it alone. But she's fascinating to me. The dude who played opposite to her,
Miles Teller.
Yeah, some of the interaction between the two of them was so weird. Just I don't know. I was disappointed in it. Pull up my Plex and see what else I've watched. I can't because I can never remember. I watch so much shit. What have you watched, Matthew? Anything?
I've been watching Fringe.
Oh yeah,
which I've watched before. I've watched it twice before. I'm watching it again because it's comfort. I know what's going to happen. It's not going to cause me anxiety.
Right.
And the real world is so fucked up that's what I need.
Oh, I went back and watched a movie from 2009 called Mr. Nobody, and it was
that's good.
It is not good. It was
it is.
It was awful. It's a Jared
Leto Bob Odenkirk. That's the Bob Odenkirk one, right? It's from 2009.
No, not that one. This is with Jared Leto.
Oh, I don't
It's
know
a
about that.
sci-fi movie, and it is so
Wait,
fucking bad.
Isn't there a
Mr.
Bob
Nobody.
Odenkirk movie called Mr. Nobody?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That is phenomenal. The Jared Leto one is fucking awful. It's terrible.
I never heard of that one.
I did start watching the Stallone movie Alarum.
Yeah, I started watching that too, but I didn't get far in it.
It's not terrible. There's not a lot of what's it called, exposition. So it's not really clear what's going on. It's a bunch of assassins, but and I started watching Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. I'm on episode 2 of that.
Oh, I was gonna ask if that was a movie or a show, but that's related to Godzilla, King Kong, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's all part of Monarch, which is the entity that capitalizes on these monsters. That's been my experience for the past week. Oh, Flight Risk. I watched Flight Risk the other night. Mark Wahlberg.
That didn't look interesting to me.
It was terrible. It's been a terrible week for video entertainment for me. It was really contrived and awful. It is basically, you remember the old Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins movie Speed?
Yeah.
With the bus. It's basically that on an airplane.
Oh.
It's horrible.
So they've done Speed on a bus, Speed on a boat, and now Speed on an airplane?
What was Speed on a boat?
Speed 2 was on a boat.
Oh, was it? I didn't know there was a Speed 2. Oh, God. Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg in this one is balding, like profusely balding in his character, and it's just fucking, oh God, it's terrible. Don't watch it.
I don't go out of my way to watch Mark Wahlberg stuff. He's a piece of shit.
If you ever run across Mark Wahlberg, shout out to him, yell out to him, say Marky Mark. And any reference to the Funky Bunch apparently gets him very angry. So make sure you
feel the vibrations. Oh, come on.
Have you seen the footage of the New Kids on the Block reunion?
No, I didn't know they were doing that.
Oh my fucking God, it's terrible. It's so fucking terrible.
Hey man, I had New Kids on the Block tapes when I was a kid.
Eight-track
cassette tapes.
Yeah, they weren't on 8-track. 8-track was already dead by then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, Matt.
Never owned an 8-track, but my first car did have an 8-track player in it.
Did you use it?
No, I've never owned an 8-track.
You mean a cassette? Yeah, you never owned a cassette.
Huh?
You never owned a cassette. You had an 8-track player.
I never owned an 8-track cassette. I owned cassettes.
There you go.
Regular cassettes.
Yeah, if you ever had an 8-track cassette, you know that you need to carry a book of matches around with you, because eventually you need to jam it under the cassette when it's in the player in order for it to play correctly.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, something would happen. It would get all weird, and you have to jam the book of matches under it to resurrect it. But
all right, anyway, well, if you made it this far through our depressing podcast and then our inane banter at the end, like and subscribe. Comment.
Yes, we would like to become full-time content creators, and
tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Yes, please do. All right, have a good week, people. If you survive, we'll see you next week.